Hello, my most amazing artists. Welcome back to art class. My name is Mrs. Alfera, and I'm so excited that you're back. We have so many fun things planned for art class this year, so sit back, relax, and let's learn a little bit about the art room.
Whether you go to Stewartsville or to Sunset Valley, this video is going to go over the rules and procedures of the art room. Let's start with how we enter the art room. No, silly teachers. That's not how we enter the art room. We don't run in and touch everything on the tables. Let's try that again. Instead, we want to walk in nicely, find our seat, and sit with our hands folded. Much better. When we sit with our hands folded, we are sitting like this woman here, the Mona Lisa, painted by Leonardo da Vinci. When you sit like Mona Lisa, that shows me that you are ready to make some amazing art. So if I'd say, show me your Mona, you should do just like our friends are doing here, and I'll know you're ready to rock and roll. Okay, let's talk about table numbers. Hanging above each table is your table number. Can you point to yours? Make sure you remember which table you sit at, because not only does it show you where you sit, but I will use that to call you for different things throughout art class. Let's see who knows their table number. If you sit at table 1, raise your hand now. If you sit at table 2, raise your hand now. Table 3, raise your hands. Table 4, can you raise your hands? Table 5, raise your hands. And if you sit at table 6, raise your hands now. Nice job. Also at your table, you have your own color. Can you find and point to your color? It's located on the side of your table right in front of your belly button. You're going to want to know what color you are because I will call you by color to do different jobs around the art room. Let's see who knows their colors. If you sit in front of the color red, raise your hand now. Nice job. If you sit in front of the color blue, raise your hand. Very good. If you sit in front of the color green, go ahead and raise your hand. Good job. If you sit in front of yellow, raise your hand. Awesome. Some tables also have the color orange. If you sit in front of orange, raise your hand. Good job. Let's talk about the art room rules. They're quite simple. There's 3 of them and they spell out art. Let's start with A. A stands for aim. Aim for your best and to do right. As long as you try your best, that's all I can ask for. R. R stands for respect. Respect yourself, your friends, and the art room. That means respect your things, my things, and your friends' things. And T stands for trust. Trust in yourself and your ability to learn. Never forget you are an amazing artist. Up on my front board, you will see the Blabber Brush. The Blabber Brush is to remind us at what level we should be talking. We could either be using our indoor voices, like I am now, our whisper voices, like this one, or we'll be quiet at a volume 0 and focused on our art. Let's look at the supplies you have at your tables. You have colored pencils and crayon boxes, which we'll talk about in a second. But let's just focus right now on the supplies inside of your table's bin. Inside your bin, you're going to find 5 pairs of scissors. These scissors should come out of and go back into the scissor part of your container. You also have 5 glue sticks. These 5 glue sticks should also come out of and go back into the glue stick part of your container. You have 5 pencils and 5 art erasers, which should go back in the cup when you're done. Speaking of pencils, if you were to accidentally break your pencil while drawing, please do not steal your neighbor's. No, Mr. Bostic. Try this instead. You could go head over to the pencil bucket and trade your unsharpened pencil in for a sharpened one to keep drawing with. Much better. Okay, back to our table supplies. In addition to 2 colored pencil boxes, you also have 2 crayon boxes, a blue box and a yellow box. Please make sure to put the crayons back in the correct box so that they are not scared and lonely without their crayon buddies. When sharing the supplies, whoever sits closest to your table supplies should grab whatever it is you're using, put it between you and your elbow partner, and share the supplies. Nice job, guys. This goes for the pencil sharpeners as well. Be sure to get those shavings over the little container. Next order of business is the sinks. If we are washing our hands, we should not be doing what our silly teacher friends are doing here. Let's try this again. When I call your table, you'll make a line at the sink. You'll make sure not to turn the water on full blast. Take your turn, soap, rinse, dry, and then nicely walk your paper towel to the garbage can. Much better, friends. I will also call you by table to bring me your wet paintings to the drying rack. Please do not run towards me with your wet paint. As much as I like to paint, I don't like to wear it. You'll make a nice straight line at the drying rack, wait your turn, and hand me your painting one at a time. This makes sure that we don't have any uh-ohs in the art room. When we are finished in the art room,
Mrs. Alfera,
we'll call you by table to line. Whoa, 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 ladies. That is not how we line up. Let's try again. Once I call your table, you will walk nicely to the orange line. You will line up on the orange line, and we will wait at a volume 0 to leave the art room. Now that we know the rules and procedures of the art room, what can we score by following them? Your table is now your team. Your team's goal is to score 2 paint splotches in every art class. At your table, you have a cup with 4 popsicle sticks in it. These 4 popsicle sticks each mean something different. The first one is follow directions. That's following my directions and the directions of the art room. The second is to sit like Mona. Make sure you're sitting like Mona when you're supposed to. The third is stay quiet. Make sure you're doing what the Blabber Brush tells us to. And the fourth is clean up. When I say to clean up, make sure you are doing it quietly and efficiently. If your team is not following the rules and procedures of the art room, you may lose a popsicle stick. You could lose up to all 4 popsicle sticks if you're not following the rules and procedures. If your team does follow the rules and procedures of the art room, you could keep all 4 of your popsicle sticks. If you have all 4 of your popsicle sticks at the end of art class, your scorekeeper will put 2 paint splotches on your scoreboard. At the end of each art class, your scorekeeper will count up your sticks. If you have 4 sticks, you earn 2 paint splotches on the scoreboard. If you have 2 or 3 sticks, you've earned 1 paint splotch on your scoreboard. If you only have 1 stick left, you don't get any paint splotches for that art class. And if you have no sticks left, then your team loses a splotch. Whichever team in your classroom has the most paint splotches at the end of the 9 weeks gets to choose one of these pictures to have painted on their face. Over on my sideboard, you will find the learning targets for each grade. Under your grade, you will find the learning target for the day, as well as any vocabulary we are learning and any artists that we are talking about. So if I say, who remembers the artist's name we talked about last art class, this is where you'll be able to find that artist. You will also be able to see an example of the project we are making. You will also want to bring in an art shirt for when things get a little messy in the art room. If one day you happen to forget your art shirt in your classroom, no problem. I have a few extras that you can borrow. Just be sure to put it back when you're done. Any art shirts accidentally left in the art room will be put in the pink Lost and Found art shirt basket. If you go back to your cubby and realize your art shirt is missing, come check my pink basket for any lost and found art shirts. It's probably in there. Okay friends, now you know the rules and procedures of the art room. Thanks for following along, and we'll see you next art class.